At that point, things started to get good. I started to pray for a wife, and as I was praying for a wife, God honoured that, and God had somebody in mind for me, and her name's Rowena Daines. I've been with her since the 6th of the 6th, 2015. That's when we got married. And I just want to quickly tell you a little story. Years ago, I was doing a custodial sentence on the Isle of Wight prison, and we worked out, me and my wife, at exact the same time. She was a young girl and she was praying, because she's been brought up in a Christian family. She was praying, and God said to her that your future husband is in trouble now. I want you to start to pray. He's in some sort of trouble. And God spoke to her, and we later discussed this when we got married, and worked out that the time was exactly the same time as when I was in the Isle of Wight prison, and I was basically on my knees crying, saying, God, I'm messed up. If you're real, I need help. I'm confused. And I had a vision of this ring on my finger. I had a vision of this ring on my finger and a posh girl, me being married to a posh girl.
What's it? Dairy allergy.
When I first met John and I started seeing him, I think people were a little bit like, oh gosh, what's going on here? Because we are polar opposites. People meet John, and how can I describe it? He's a little bit rough and ready, bless him. And they meet me and they perceive me as quite posh or prim and proper. For me and John, it is like we come from two different worlds, but at the same time, I know that I was made for him. He was made for me. We were made for each other. We were destined to be together. And that's a really beautiful thing. I love him so completely, and I'm fierce in my love for him. He's had a chaotic life, and for me, I feel like I need to protect him in a lot of ways, and that has been my role as he has moved forward in his walk with the Lord, and just developing as a man, because he spent his whole life running from reality, really.
Been brought up in a posh family, and she's lovely. I love her with all of my heart. She's everything to me, apart from God. God's number one. And Rowena and my little boy, they mean the world to me. I would die for them. They're everything to my life. And so my wife is incredible to me. So she's come in, her pure soul, she's not been exposed to darkness. She's stayed into a place where she's walked with the living God and not been corrupted. So her pure soul being next to my corrupted soul, which has been damaged, has brought healing to my soul. And the Holy Spirit, Jesus and the Father, has really incorporated all this together and really brought me into an amazing place with my faith walk with God. And it's alive and active. God's so real to me. I hear him on a day-to-day basis. He speaks to me. You only got to pick the Bible up and read and ask the Holy Spirit to start to help you, and you'll start to see the purpose for your life, which was set in heaven. My purpose from God for my life was already set before the foundations of this world, and I'm just walking it out, and the Holy Spirit is navigating that purpose for me, and I'm just in submission of that and finding more of God's goodness.